So on this part 2, what we're going to do is you're going to take this first question here says which number of questions typo's really bad on that. Which number of questions made you feel you could pull together that you could use to make your investigation? Okay, sorry, that's really poorly worded. I wrote it really late. Okay, so I want you to look back on all the answers that you did for numbers for the first part, all these questions over here, and I want you have to highlight the things that kind of stand out to you that you could then make into your own question or your own theme. Okay, and I want you to just kind of list some things over here. So if you talked about landscape, if you talked about character design, if you talked about a particular theme that you're really interested, human rights, or whatever it is that you want to put in here, start to kind of collect them there. And then the second question is you're going to turn that into a form of a question. Okay, so my sustained investigation was portraits that communicate the likeness, but also the personality of the individual through color and through shapes. Okay, so, and I'm going to show you how to do this bottom half over here. Okay, so when you're done, you've got those two up there figured out. I'm not going to write them in just because I did that already and I don't want to take all your time. So in the middle here, you're going to put, what your idea is about. So I'm going to do color portraits. You all done a mind map before? Hopefully you have. I find it's a great way to brainstorm and kind of collect your ideas together. So in this space over here, I want you to create a mind map to help give you an idea of everything that's going to be needed for your concentration, okay? And then on one little projection over here, we're going to put resources. What kind of resources are you going to need to create this idea? Okay, over here, materials or mediums. What kind of materials are you going to need? Okay, if you're going to need some paints or some specific boards, if you're going to need technology, it's kind of a good idea to keep that in mind. Okay, and then another section that branches off, we're going to put ideas. What are some possible ideas for individual projects? And this is a really quick way to get to know if yours is going to work for you. If what you want to do is not practical because you don't have the resources, then obviously it's not going to work. Okay? Or if you can't come up with enough ideas, then it's probably not going to work either. Okay? So now we can shoot off. So if I'm taking my ideas, so my materials, I'm going to need my oil paints. I'm going to need my limited colors. I need brushes. I need canvases. Okay. Materials, I'm also going to need I'm going to need cleaner. Okay, I need cleaning materials, and I'll branch off what I need. The soaps. Oops, sorry, that's my pen messed up on me. Soaps, solvent. With my materials, I'm going to need a workspace. Okay, you're going to need a place to do this. If you're going to oil paint, you're going to need a space that's going to be protected. So I need to be able to keep that clean. My workspace needs to be a place undisturbed. Okay, and I can keep going. If there's any other materials I need, I want you to kind of list them here so you're thinking about those kinds of things. I'll sit down and I'll look through this, and we can, next week, hopefully this is all going to be done, and we can kind of sit down and go through all these and talk about what things you're going to need, and I'll be able to add to them and help you out. Okay? Resources, I'm going to need, this will be not just the materials I'm going to need, But if I need technology, I'm going to need to be able to do research, right? So I need info on artists. I'm going to need access to photos of artwork. So here we're starting to list some of the things that we need, okay? Down here in my ideas, I could do, these would be the 4 paintings that I just showed you. I can do one of, I got Charlie, he's red, because he's red and he was a triangle. Let's see, Spencer, he was the blue, and he was a square. And then, let's see, Katie, she was yellow. Oops. She was a circle. And then the wifey, Jenny, she was a cross and light blue. Okay, so I'm just kind of brainstorming ideas, trying to get an idea. Now, none of this has to be set in stone, okay, because like I said, your work is going to change and evolve as you go. So right now, we're just trying to get a start, and this is hopefully a good, solid starting ground that we can begin, because the last thing I want to have you do is get halfway through and say, Peterson, I hate what I'm doing. I hate it. Can I start over again? Because that's really tough to do. Okay, so we want to make sure we find an idea that's going to be leave you enough options to be able to have some flexibility to do what you want to do, meet all your goals you want to accomplish, and something you're not going to get bored with and hate 6 pieces in. Okay, so anyway, this is what we're going to work with the rest of the time that we have today. So go on to part 2, make your little map here. If you haven't uploaded your little creatures, do those also today before you go. And then part 3, we're going to, is all about building upon your ideas, trying to find some variations to make sure your idea is what you want it to be. Okay? And then when we're all done, we'll photograph all 4 pages and you get to all 4 parts and then you'll turn them in. Okay? Any questions? All right, so we have about 25 minutes left. Go ahead and you can use that time to think of your ideas. And if you get stuck, you need some help, let me know.